Welcome to the LABrary. My name is Riddle, and I work for the Idaho National Laboratory. And today, I guess I should tell you, today we're going to do how to work Lego Digital Designer, which is really a lot of fun. I've got a short power presentation, and we'll work together on how to learn how to do the Lego Digital Designer. Its short name is called LDD. A little bit about myself. So, as I said, I work for the Idaho National Laboratory. I'm a research scientist there. I am actually both a chemist and a radiochemist. Does anyone know what radiochemistry is? And you go ahead, when you want to ask a question or talk, you can go ahead and unmute your mic. That's fine to ask questions. So a radiochemist works with radioactive material. It's the same as a chemist. We do chemistry, but we do it with radioactive material like uranium, uranium and plutonium, things that you put in a nuclear reactor for clean nuclear energy. So I work on that. I work for National and Homeland Security, trying to find better ways to keep, or new ways to keep everyone like you and me and all of us safe. And so I work for both nuclear energy, NSNT, Nuclear Science and Technology at the lab, and also National and Homeland Security. It's a lot of fun. So if any of you really like chemistry, follow that, and chemistry is a lot of fun, and you get to make different things and try new things, and it's a whole lot of fun. Today, we're going to look at how to work Lego Digital Designer. So you can let your imagination run wild. You can make all kinds of different things. A lot of what I built, you can see up here in the back. I love Legos. I've been building Legos for years, and they are an engineering work of art. And I enjoy building them, and I don't take them apart. They're, like I said, they're a piece of artwork. So I have them all over the house. But this 2 years ago, I decided to try something new. And I used the Lego Digital Designer to design Atomic Town Power. Now we'll talk a little bit more about Atomic Town Power in just a minute, but we're going to start with a short slideshow that I have for you that tells you a little bit about the components of the Digital Designer and how to use them. So hang on one second here, and I will share with all of you the PowerPoint presentation. And we'll go from the beginning. Okay, there we go. All right, so activate your imagination with Digital Designer. You can build anything that your imagination can come up with. And as you can see in the photo here, EBR1. EBR1 is Experimental Breeder Reactor #1, and it's right here in Idaho, in your very own state. It's over here on the Arco Desert, and EBR1 was the first nuclear reactor to produce usable electricity to light 4 light bulbs, and ultimately it lit up the town of Arco, Idaho. So nuclear is our history. And so I decided to share that history with students like yourself and students and adults across not only across Idaho, but across the country about our history. So I built Atomic Town Power, which you can see right here. Now, all of you have the Lego Digital Designer on your computers, right? We good? Okay, we're all good. Excellent. All right then. So the first thing, if this pops up on your Lego Digital Designer, internet access failed, just ignore that. I don't know what kind of strange artifact that the software does, but just go ahead and hit OK, and it will continue on. So that's not an issue. So if you get that, just hit OK. So now the first screen you'll see is when you come up with Lego Digital Designer, is it'll ask you what you want to do. Do you want to take something from a file, or do you want a new project? Now those two on the bottom, the one on the icon on the left there is something you saved and you want to bring it out of file. You can see here above, I have multiple files saved. You see all the little pictures up above the new project? that is all of the different things that I've done for Atomic Town Power Lego. But for us, we're going to want to start a new project. So you would hit that icon right there, and that's going to this screen right here, a new project. This is an empty, a ready to roll landscape. So what you can do is you can see over here, you can see all of these icons over here where my cursor is pointing. Each one of these, you see a little plus, it's going to have a drop down tab. Now you can drop down the tab and it'll give you every color and every part in that. If you want to just look at a specific part, or I should say the parts of a specific type in a specific color, you're going to go down here to this little color palette at the bottom. Now the color palette at the bottom, you can pick any color that's in the palette and it will turn all of these different bricks. It'll show you every one of them in that color. Now if it doesn't show you something you want, that means it does not come in that color. Now we're going to go specifically about, you see all these icons up here and over here. We're going to look at those in just a second here and individually. So these right up here, we're going to go to the next, and you can see here, excuse me, you can see all these icons right here enlarged up in the left side. Now each one has got what it does, its name across the top of it. So this is a clone. So when you hit a clone, if you hit this button and you come down and you have a part, you click on that part and it'll make another part just like it. So if you wanted to use bricks and repeat, say you needed, 15 of the same size of brick in the same color, you would just hit clone and you'd hit it over and over and over and over until you got 15 of them, and then you'd have all your 15 bricks. Now the one thing you want to remember is when you're on clone, you want to, or replicate, you want to untag that. So go back to this arrow, because otherwise, if I've done this before, if you start trying to move things around, you'll just keep cloning things, and all of a sudden you'll have a dozen going, why isn't this working? So you always have to revert. Anytime you've touched on any of these, you want to revert back to your arrow, your cursor. So the next one is rotate. And this is used, say you want to rotate a head on one of the figures, or you want to rotate something that is like a handle and you want to rotate it left or right, you can use that button. And again, you just click on that and then you would click on your part and it would rotate it. And it'll give you a visual representation. It'll show like a little circle and it'll let you go left or right however you can for that, however you want that part to move. So a line will line up things. You see the hands here. If they're off like this, it will line them up. So that's one of the buttons I don't use very often because it's really easy to line them up yourself on the digital designer, on the area, the platform area. Flex is neat. Say you're putting a railing and you've got like a railing chain, right? So you've got a chain and you want it to flex. If you hit the flex, then you can move the chain any way you want. It's no longer just a straight line. It'll move any way you want to connect it to something. Paint, well, we know what that is. If you click on paint and click on a part, it'll give you all of the colors that you can make that particular part. And so then you click on the color you want. And hide is if you want to hide a part, and then of course delete. For deleting, your delete button on your computer does the same thing as the delete X up here. So this is a single arrow. Now, if there are any questions, just holler them out while I'm talking. If you have any questions or you're confused, just go ahead and ask. So this is a single arrow. Now the single arrow will let you move stuff around on your plate area here. So on your building area, it lets you move stuff around. So you click that one when you just want to move something. If you want to highlight a bunch of parts and move them, you'll select this tool right next to it, and then you can click on several parts, or as many as you want. You can do your whole, the whole thing that you've made. You can move an entire wall, you can move all the people. It will move all of them simultaneously for you. And these you can just play with. Basically, they are arrows that allow you to change a specific color. They allow you to move a specific part and then change its color. I really haven't used much of those last 4 buttons because it doesn't really do anything I need. This one here, though, this big one on the end, that one's really neat. If you click on that one, it will highlight every brick you have. Say you wanted to move everything. You wanted to take everything you built, move it from there over to here. If you click on this button here, it will highlight everything, and then you can grab it and move it. So the buttons are really kind of fun, and you can just play with them. Now over here, we have the usual File, Edit, Toolbox, View, and Help. So Home brings you back to your home where you were at the beginning. Save, of course, we have Save is also an edit, but we have the little save bar here. And then, of course, the arrows are for do and do and undo, or redo and undo. And then here, the digital designer little box here, that's actually really kind of important. That's a part search. If you don't see something you like and you don't want to have to go through this entire group of icons looking for it, you can put a name in the box. You can say, I want a chain, or I want a 2x6 brick, or I want a window pane. And it will bring up, it will minimize all of these except the ones that have what your search is in it. So that makes it kind of easy. That's kind of fun. So this is collapse parts. Now this is down here at the bottom. So down here at the bottom, collapse parts is when, say, you have all of these open. You have a whole bunch of them and they're all maximized. So you've got parts everywhere and you can't tell where you're at. If you hit that, all of these boxes will go back to exactly like this configuration, exactly how you see them. So, and then paint, that gives you every color of your palette. And this is a brick size. And so it can minimize or maximize the size of what you're seeing. So up here, we have, these are really fun buttons up here. So up here we have the build mode. That's what you'll be in when you're building on your building plate right here. The next one over is a view mode, and we'll show you that in just a second in a real live LDD. And then the final one, you can actually, the farthest one on the right, you can actually make a list, an instruction. You know how Legos come with the instructions? You can make your own instructions for what you've just built, which is a lot of fun too. And that's how, one of the ways that I built Atomic Town Power was making instructions from this area. So this, you know, when you build something in the non-real world, like Lego Digital Designer in the software world, you can actually take all of that you designed and build it in the real world. Now this is photos of Atomic Town Power, which was designed on the Lego Digital Designer and then built in the real world by the parts list and the instructions. So it's a lot of fun. As you can see, we made this, my team and I made this really big. And this is the EBR, our salute to EBR-1 with the nuclear reactor in the center. And it's got chemistry over here. And it's just a really, really neat part of Atomic Town. Now, maybe you can think of, maybe Atomic Town is a town. So we have Atomic Town, we have the power. Maybe Atomic Town needs something like a national laboratory. Maybe it needs scientists and engineers. Maybe it needs a spaceport. So Atomic Town Spaceport and rockets to Mars, and you can build nuclear propulsion for them, which we do right now, our space battery program. Maybe you want a nuclear powered sub. So maybe Atomic Town has Atomic Town submarine base. There's all kinds of things you can do with your imagination, and maybe you want to add on to Atomic Town. So we've got the power to light it. We just need the rest of the town. So once you've finished, there's another program you can download onto your computer. You can download, it's called Lego Digital Designer to LABrary, and it's a converter that creates your Legos. It makes photos. So you can see here, this guy here and this guy here are not, this was before that we built them. These are photographs of our Legos, and they have shadows. They look like a real photograph, right? So they look like an actual photograph, and with these, you can submit your creations to Lego Ideas. Now, Lego has all kinds of different contests you can do too. They have contests. You can submit your idea for voting. You can get supporters, and the way Lego works on their Lego Ideas is if you get 10,000 votes, 10,000 supporters, Lego will consider your design to become an official Lego set for purchase in the stores. So it's really cool that you can do this, because this is something a lot of people have done, that they were able to get their designs, and Lego said, yeah, you know, we like that. We're going to build that, and we're going to put it in the store for everyone to buy. So right now, that's what's happening with Atomic Town Power. We've submitted it to Lego Ideas, and right now we have almost 3,000 supporters. So we're moving right along on that. So there's so many things you can do if you download this web page, and you can create. Now it takes a while. Don't expect it to do right away. It took for the whole Atomic Town, it took about 15 hours for it to actually make a photograph out of that. But then it just runs in the background of your computer, and it doesn't stop you from doing anything. So this is where Atomic Town, these are those photos again I just talked about. It actually wasn't built at this time. This is a photo built by the LABrary program. So what's really neat is we're voting. So if you or your parents, you want to vote for, or you ask your parents, or you talk to your friends at school and your teacher and let them know that we're trying to get Atomic Town Power for the 10,000 votes to see if Lego will actually build it and for sale. So another really neat thing you can do, and there's the ideas Lego.com website is also where you go to submit your ideas. So if you've come up with an idea and you've built it on the Lego and you've created the picture through the LABrary program, you too can submit it to Lego. And they run contests, as I said, all the time, so you might want to submit to a contest. They have prizes, and they do all kinds of fun things on the Lego website. So what we have here also, if you were interested, this is kind of along with the LABrary, everyone is doing virtual tours. So this is your chance to see the real EBR1 and take a virtual tour of it as it sits here, because of course it's not open right now. But at this website, you can go in and enter Idaho in the search bar and click on the virtual tour for EBR1. So you can see it if you haven't been there as a virtual tour, which is really kind of neat. So that's all I have for the Lego Digital Designer. So now what we're going to do, as you can see, I have up the actual designer. So here we go. Okay, can everyone see that now? Okay, excellent. All right, so here we go. So we've got the digital designer, and you can see here Atomic Town Power, and I can highlight pretty much everything, and you can move stuff around. See, I just moved that out of the way. And then of course you hit that and it moves back. So let's start with, so remember I said you can see every single color that comes in these bricks, right? Now if you want to narrow that, say you just want, let's pick a pretty color. say you just want blue ones. Okay, now it shows you just the blue ones. And the bricks come in all these shapes in this size of blue. So let's see here. We're going to, this is a 2x4x3 brick. So let's just bring that out here. And we'll enlarge this a little bit so you can see it. Okay, so we have our brick here, and we can move it anywhere we want, and we can place it. Now, you can place bricks anywhere you want, and it'll let you know if it's correct. See how the bottoms light up when I move it around? That's telling you that it is able to connect. So you can click and that brick will stay there.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it'll stay there just like that.
How do you specify the colors?
Then specify the colors right down here. Here's our color palette. Now that'll do if you want, say you put a blue in here and you've decided you want that to be a different color, click the paint bucket up here, come down here, click on that, and these are all the colors you can have. Let's just turn that to red. And now you have a red brick instead. So, okay, do we really want that red? Yeah, let's make it green just for fun, so it matches. So, and now remember, once you're on one of these, you want to go back to your arrow, because otherwise you're going to keep, your paint screen will keep coming up. So now we can move this, and we'll move it over here. Now, if you want to go back to all color, just exit, remove the color filter, and you're back to all the different colors. If you're undecided as to what color you want to use, it'll give you absolutely all the colors, even the transparent ones. So then we come down here and say, it's like, okay, I don't want to be in here anymore, and I don't want to scroll all the way to the bottom to minimize it. You hit that, and we go back up to our regular chart. Now you can do that with any of them, including, see, now we have people, or we will here in a minute. And you just scroll down. Oop, there went a Scotty dog. And you have everything. Got magic wands, got cups, telephones. So we have an ice cream cone. Well, that's kind of fun. Let's do that. So we've got, let's put that on top of the green brick. And what flavor do you guys want?
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Okay, let's go. I don't see a pink. Let's go with the red one. And sometimes it can be a little tricky. Sometimes you have to actually add. There we go. And see, it'll highlight like that. It'll light up when you're in the right spot. And now I want to move both of these, right? So at the same time. So you come back up here to the multi arrow, and that will allow me to move it wherever I want. And there we have a strawberry sundae. So there are lots of things you can do. Let's see, what else? Let's build a person. Let's build a happy person. Here we go. So we have a head. All right, so there's the head. The other thing, now she's facing away from us. So we want her to look at us, right? So let's make these bigger. Let's do this. So this is the other thing. So if you're on, remember our double and single and double arrow, right? Now watch this. And gone. So, and then you can bring it back. There we go. And you can make it go away again. And so we're going to, what our Sunday do? We don't want to get rid of our Sunday, so we'll go like this and get rid of all that. And then you can highlight. These arrows go up and down, sideways. And when you're here, you can delete individual parts just by deleting them. You can move them around. There we go. And delete it. And then you can come back up here and we'll just get rid of everything except our Sunday. How's that? Get rid of the green brick. And we'll leave that. All right, so then these buttons here go up and down, right? And like this. So then this button here recenters everything. Oh, there we go. So it's recentered it, so now we can see it. And now let's add somebody here. So we have a head, and if we want her to face us, anytime you want to change a brick, your up and down and side to side arrows on just below your shift key there will make her head move around. So let's go with, there we go, happy face. And we'll get a fellow in here. Let's see here. We'll get quizzical look here. There we go. And then you stroll down, and you can also just use this when you're looking for something specific. Let's give him some hair. Now his hair is kind of funny, right? So we want to use that arrow to bring it around to the front. There we go. And let's see here. Oop, there's some legs. What color legs do you want? What color pants? Anybody? Green. Green it is. All right, we'll change those around. All right, what color pants do we want for the young lady here?
Pink, blue.
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 All right, blue it is. All right, let's see here. What do we got? We need to have some torsos. So you know what? Oop, get rid of the micropause. We don't need that. So let's see. Let's go torso and see what happens. All right, we got that. Nope. And sometimes you just have to fish around for stuff. Sometimes it doesn't mean torso. Let's go with body. Let's try that. And somewhere in here, there's bodies. So this is actually the challenge, is trying to find different things. And then you can exit out of looking for things and just, you know, just manipulating and trying to find, okay, where are the bodies? Let's go for a specific color. Huh? Let's see, we've got green. Let's stick with the green color.
Where's her hair?
That's a good question. Let's go for hair. All right, what do we got here? Nope, that didn't work. So let's go for, so we make her a brunette or a blonde or black hair? Which would you guys prefer?
Blonde.
Blonde, okay, blonde it is. And we'll go back to all. There we go. Let's see, there. Ha-ha. We'll turn her around, and there we go. We have blonde hair for her. So let's see if we can't find a body for her. Let's see. Okay, so she's got blue. Let's do this. We'll go a little bit shade lighter. How's that? We'll do that. Let's see here. Sometimes you have to look around because they hide things in strange places, especially when it comes to body parts. Let's try figurine. Oops. And this is where spelling it right comes in handy. Nope, didn't like that. How about, I know. Let's try that. Or if you just exit out of there. So now we're going to get all our parts back. It might be that that part, if you can't find a part, maybe it doesn't come in that color. So exit out of all the colors and then see if you can find it in a different color. Oh, look, we have flippers. They can go swimming. So yeah, if you can't find something, just go and look for it, you know, exit out of all of the specific colors. There's all the different faces, all the different heads, and then you might be able to find it because it may not come in that particular color. So the easiest way to try and find something is to put all the colors up. It's a little time consuming, but if you're not sure that it has a part you want, that's the easiest and fastest way to find it. So we'll just scroll through all of these, see if we can't find our bodies. As you can see, there's a lot of parts here. So we'll just move on down here. Oh, there's legs, we're getting close. After legs must come bodies. Oh, there we go. All right, so we want to make one of them a fireman. Let's see.
Yes, we want to make a fireman.
Okay, fireman it is. There we go. And we'll put him, we want to move our arrow and go there. We can take the whole piece over. All right. And we'll give him some, go back up here. Sometimes it's easier just to do it with this button. And we'll give him some yellow pants to go with his fire outfit. Whoop. There we go. Come on. There we are. Okay, so now we'll get rid of our little ice cream cone here. We're back to our double arrow so we can, and sometimes you catch on things. You gotta wait for a second before you can move it. All right, so we've got, let's get, all right, so we'll get rid of those. So let's see, what do we want for our young lady student here? Let's see, what have we got? We have all kinds of fun things. What's this? Well, that's pretty. There. And there, now we have our two figurines. We have a little girl and we have a fireman. So these are how you do, and then of course you can get larger, you can get smaller. Yep. Okay, we had an extra head there. And these are, and then again, go down here, and that brings everything back to where it was. So now we've got our people. Let's build a little bit of a wall. So the wall just starts with, let's start with white. So you take a brick, and then you take another brick, and you can put it next to it. And then you can put a third brick on top, just like that. And you can keep building your brick wall one group at a time, just like that. So now you've got a brick wall. Now you can highlight it, which is fun. So now you can see how many bricks you've used. And down here in the very bottom, you see where it says bricks. That'll tell you the size. That brick is a 1x6 brick. The one next to it is a 1x3 brick. So you want to see something really cool? I have fun buttons for you. So we're going to, you know what? I'll show you this first. Over here, the very far button on the top, and that says building guide mode, right? So if I was to click that, it's going to build us a guide. And so it's going to tell us how to put our bricks together. one by one. And just like it does on the Lego pages, when you get a book that comes with the Lego box, it's the same thing up here. It'll tell you which parts you use, and it'll tell you how to put them together. And now I have these, and pretty soon there's our little strawberry sundae. And here comes our fireman. And then we have all of our people. And so it'll give you a parts list and everything. So now we'll go back to our building and I will show you something fun. You can also do backgrounds. And apparently it has sound effects with it that we didn't know about. You can change the backgrounds by this icon up here, the globe. And now it has a windy. And now we have ocean water. And we have space. So you can have your people anywhere you want. So now we'll go back here. And here we're going to close out of this for a second and I'll reinitiate it. Maybe I don't want to do that. Let's see. How do we go back? We're just going to keep doing the back button because if I close out, it may not share with you anymore for a minute. So we're just going to we're going to rebuild brick by brick, group by group. We'll minimize it. We're going to rebuild Atomic Town Power. Recenter that. Remember how that recenters. All right, so we're back to Atomic Town Power. Now, you're going to like this part. We're going to go back to our crazy land here. And blow it up.
Now it's not a space station.
And now it's going to put itself back together. And so now we'll swivel it around. All right, and we're going to do it again. Here, I'm going to turn my sound down for a second so it won't make all that noise for you. There we go. All right. And now it's all back together again. So there's a lot of fun things you can do. You can even take a picture of it. So we'll go back to this. And this is a camera over here on the left. It'll take a picture of it. And then you can save it. You go to desktop and you can save your photo. That's funny, I never realized I never had the sound on when I was working with this. I never realized there were eerie sounds associated with making a picture out of it. All right, so we've got just about a little over 15 minutes left. So do you have, go ahead and unmute your mics and let me know if you have questions.
The explode button doesn't appear.
It doesn't, okay, so go to here, right? You see where my cursor is, the view mode?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna turn my sound down here for a second so this doesn't make all that noise. It's right here. Do you have that? You should.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, excellent. Here, I'll turn my sound back up. There we go. Yep. And so anything you build will explode like that. I thought you guys would like that. I liked that button too when I found it. It was a lot of fun. Especially when you build something big and you can see how all the parts explode and then they all come back together. And it's really fun when you've built something like that and then you can see it all come back together, all the big parts and the little parts and the people and everything. So what other questions do you have? Oh, here's real quick. This is what, too far. This is what the bottom looks like. So you can build, if you're gonna build yourself a house or something, you have to have a bottom plate on it because that's what all your stuff in the real world will sit on. So you can't just say, let's see here, whoop, too far.
Can you print out your instructions?
Yes, Yep, the instructions, let's see. If I can find those real quick. Here, I'll stop sharing this for a second. And the instructions look like when well, part instructions, the parts list is what comes first. Because it takes a really long time to, for something as big as what I built, to make the parts list. Let's see here. Let's do something easy here. Well, hey, let's take a look at this. This is when I was building it in the real world. As soon as it comes up, photos take a little while. Okay, and then I will share. There we go. So this is what the parts list right here looks like. So you can print it out. It will design it as like a PDF, and then you can save it and you can print it out and it'll give you each and every part and it'll show you a picture of it and it'll give you the size and the actual number. So there's a place called, and you can see all my bits and pieces parts. Where'd we go here? All right. So how did I manage that one? Yeah, you'll get a list like that. You go over here. Well, we'll start this. Remember when we built the list of the small group we had? It showed you the parts. It also has a parts list associated with it. If I start this now, it'll take a very long time, but we can also always cancel it. See when it says it's generating a building guide? Along at the very end of that building guide, here, let's do this. We have plenty of time. So we're going to build something. We have someone in the waiting room. All right, so there we go. Okay, so let's get rid of all of this. Oops, multiple highlight. So when you're on multiple highlight, you can, my mouse is behaving badly right now. It's just taking pieces and parts off. So let's see if we can get it to behave a little better. There we go. All right, so come on, delete. Oh, it's been working so nicely. All right, let's try this one more time. All right, so again, you highlight what you want and then you can hit delete. There we go, now we got it working. All right, so what we're gonna do here is, now we have that nice plate. So we're going to, let's just do a simple wall. So we're just going to take some 1x2s or 2x6s and 2x4s, and we're going to put them, let's just put them under each other. There we go. And we'll just kind of build little steps here since my mouse is not cooperating with me really well. So we'll just build some steps here. Okay, so we build some very rudimentary steps. Let's get rid of that one and get another one the same size.
How do you get on the Lego bricks?
What?
How do you get on the Lego bricks?
On the Lego bricks, you just, okay, you see the hand over here on the left? You just click and it appears.
Oh, thanks.
So you're welcome. So now we got that. So we're going to center this, okay? And another way you can center it, you see how big our plate is? You can, okay, again, go back to that arrow. You can take them and you can center them just like that. And then everything is centered up. So now we're going to build this. So we're going to hit the build, and it built it really quick. And so the arrow up here will take you through the process. Okay, we've got our little staircase. And then it will also, there's the generate the building guide. Let's see here. Let's see, generate the building guide. Somewhere, usually at the very end, and it might be because this is so few bricks. At the very end of this, you will have a building guide. This is the building guide. You will have a parts list. So since this is very, very small, it doesn't have much for the parts list. But I can share that picture I shared with you that had all the different parts on it. That's what it will produce at the very end of that building guide. It'll give you a list of all the different pieces and parts you use. It won't make you count them off. It'll just give you a whole list. So let's try something else here. Let's try something a little bigger. Thing is, bigger things take time. There we go. Oop, too big. All right, let's make this a little smaller. See if it'll let us. Oh, too far. My computer's doing a little freeze up job here. So we'll wait for it. All right, so what we'll do is, there we go. Go there, center, get rid of this guy. And this guy, mostly it's just kind of playing with it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take off this section. And I said my computer's being a little slow right now. You'll get to it. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at this. Let's do a building guide just for this section right out front. Okay, so we've got just this little section with the door and some windows. So we'll produce a building guide. That should go relatively quickly. And if not, we'll make it a little smaller so it'll go faster, but I think it's zipping along. So think of any more questions you have. Sure, I see a hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you make something and save it and then work on it later?
Oh, absolutely. I'll show you how to do that in just 1 minute. Let's see if we can go all the way to the end. See?
That was going to be my question, is how to save your buildings.
Oh, absolutely. So we have here. All right. So view, and it, like I said, it will see how it built this for us. So what we'll do here is we'll get back into the building. Okay, there we go. So say I want to save this. So you go to File, and sorry, we have micro pauses on our machine. I'll get rid of that. Save as, and say just on desktop. So we're on desktop, and we're going to save this as ATP. You just give it a name. We'll give it a test name, ATP test. Okay, and you can see here the save type is an LXF file. That is actually the digital designer file. Okay, so we've saved that. So I can go ahead and I will exit this and exit that. And I will bring up, minimize you guys for a second here. And I will bring up what we shared. So, all right. Here, I'll show you, bring you guys up again and show you what we shared. Oh, it won't show a file, will it? Okay. So, let's see. I know, I got an idea. So I'll move this guy over here and I'll share this and I'll show you what the files look like. Hey, there's a way to work this. There we are. And share. Okay, so now I'm sharing with you the file. See, I've labeled it Lego Digital, Lego Design Files. And all of these, this is the one we just saved. All of these are different files. So it has the Lego brick and you can save it. And now if I click on this, Digital Designer, can you see that this is what that note the access failed. Can you all see this? You can? Okay, so you click OK and it starts up. And loading. And there it is. That's what we saved. So yes, you can return to your material, your project, and you can continue on. You can add whatever you want. It's just like if you had started, and you can just resume where you left off. So any other questions?
I have one.
Okay.
So as you keep on adding stuff to your build, do you have to keep hitting the save button?
Yes. Whenever you add, let's see, we'll do that here. We'll center this. Okay.
Oh, actually, you're still sharing the files.
Oh, just files? Okay.
Yeah,
Stop
switch
sharing.
back over. Yeah.
I will switch back over. There we go. And, okay, can you see it now?
It's starting. Yep.
Okay, excellent. So now we've got back, this is what we saved in that little file with the little brick on it. And so now you can continue. Let's just go with white. All right, so see, we want to put a wall in. Yep, where'd our brick go? Turn it around, and we've added a little wall here. So say we want to do another one. So here's that clone feature. So I tagged on that, and oh look, another one popped up. And if I do it again, another one will pop up. And there we go. Now you can't move this one, it'll just clone it again until you go back to the arrow, and then you can move that one in, and then you can move that one in line, just like that. Now, when you want to save your work, now before you close the program, so you don't lose your work, you want to go up here and hit.
Save?
Oh, that was it right there.
Oh.
That little icon right up there. Here, we'll do it again. What we'll do is we'll get rid of that and see the save. As soon as you do something, that save button comes back because you've made a change. So the save button will pop back up. So anytime anytime you've done something, then go ahead and hit that save button again. If the save button is grayed out, you've saved all of your work so far. There's been no change. So say if I wanted, say all I did was turn this around like that, the save button isn't going to show up unless you add or subtract a brick. So if you move it in these directions, when you come back to it, it won't be in this direction. It'll be in the direction that you previously saved it in. So it'll still, all the parts will be there. It'll be just turned a different direction. But that's easy to do. You just, you hit these guys and there you go. And so remember that one about how to open and close things? There's your little, see up in the corner here and right here. So this allows us to open a door. Now, the easiest way I found is just to use this down here and do that. Beep, open and close the door. So that way you can have it open or closed depending on what you want. So there's all kinds of fun things you can do. You can add flowers to bushes and all kinds of fun things. So you can just let your imagination run wild and, you know, add on to Atomic Town, or, you know, build a spacecraft to Mars, or build, you know, the next nuclear power plant, or the next car, you know, the energy efficient car, anything you can think of.
I'm using this color. I need a brush.
So are there any more questions? Because I think we're just about out of time.
I have a question.
Go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask your questions. You don't have to raise your hand.
Okay.
So do you think we could maybe do not anything but energy source?
You could build a new energy source. You could build an energy source built on volcanoes. You could build an energy or hydrothermic or volcanic. You can build a hydrogen source. You can build anything your imagination can run away with. And you never know. Maybe when you get older, those ideas you had for Legos will become ideas you have as an adult. You go, you know what? I think this might work. Let's become a scientist or an engineer and see if we can't make my ideas work. Most all of my work, all of the technologies I've invented, I have multiple patents. All the technologies I've invented have come from right up here. They've come from my own brain in a way to help people, to help other people, to help our world, and to help all the people in it. And those ideas come from us. All the ideas of all the different things in the world, be it cars or spaceships or from NASA or new vaccines or medicines, they all come from people from right up here in their brains. Imagination. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Hi, love you kids. You guys are great. Hope you use lots of imagination and build lots of fun things with Legos.